breaking Congress may have just delivered the biggest win in Ripple's history, and it could end the SEC's case in 24 hours or less. A new crypto regulation law has passed, and it's shaking up everything. Could XRP finally be declared a currency and not a security? If so, XRP to $10 isn't just a dream anymore. Let's dive into the facts, the law, the rumors, and what it all means for your XRP bags. Let's talk about the bombshell legislation that just dropped out of Washington, D.C., and what it could mean for XRP Ripple. In the entire crypto market, the U.S. House of Representatives has passed a comprehensive crypto framework bill known as the Financial Innovation and Technology for the 21st Century Act, or FIT21. While not yet law, this bill could fundamentally change the regulatory status of crypto assets, and Ripple may be the biggest winner of music all. So what does the bill actually do? In simple terms, the FIT21 Act seeks to clearly divide regulatory responsibilities between the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) and the Commodity Futures Trading Commission (CFTC). Under this proposed law, crypto assets like XRP would likely be considered commodities, not securities. And that one detail could be the final nail in the coffin of the SEC's lawsuit against Ripple Labs. Now remember, the Ripple versus SEC case started way back in 2020 when the SEC accused Ripple of selling XRP as an unregistered security. The lawsuit dragged on for years, clouding XRP's future and forcing major exchanges like Coinbase and Kraken to delist the token in the US market. But everything started to shift in July 2023 when a federal judge ruled that XRP sales on exchanges do not constitute securities offerings, a major partial victory for Ripple. However, the SEC didn't give up. They appealed the decision and continued their enforcement crusade, arguing that institutional sales of XRP did qualify as securities. The legal ambiguity remained, and the case continued to cast a shadow over Ripple's future. Until now, the FIT21 bill changes everything. If passed into law, it would strip the SEC of jurisdiction over most crypto tokens, handing authority over to the CFTC and giving XRP and other tokens clear legal recognition as commodities. That means Ripple would no longer be liable for securities violations. The lawsuit could be rendered pointless overnight. Some legal analysts are already speculating that Congress's action could force the SEC to drop the case entirely or settle immediately. But let's be realistic. While the House has passed the bill, it still needs to clear the Senate and get signed into law by the president. That could take weeks or even months, and in the meantime, the Ripple case is still technically active. So while we may be closer than ever to resolution, this isn't a done deal yet. And that's an important nuance. Many XRP influencers won't tell you. Also, don't expect XRP to magically explode to $10 the next day. While regulatory clarity is critical for long-term growth, price surges are driven by multiple factors: market sentiment, institutional adoption, global partnerships, and of course liquidity. Even after Ripple's partial victory in 2023, XRP's price briefly surged above 80 but quickly dropped back under 60. Why? Because clarity doesn't equal utility. That said, we can't ignore what this bill represents. It's the first time U.S. lawmakers are creating real rules of the road for crypto, and Ripple's tireless lobbying may have finally paid off. According to reports, Ripple has spent millions working with legislators and regulators to shape this outcome, and it looks like their strategy worked. If the SEC backs down, expect Coinbase, Kraken, and other U.S. platforms to quickly relist XRP. That alone could bring millions of retail traders back into the ecosystem. Add to that the institutional players who've been sitting on the sidelines due to legal uncertainty, and we could be looking at a massive liquidity influx. But here's the bigger question. What happens after XRP is legally declared a commodity? Well, for starters, Ripple can expand its on-demand liquidity ODL product across U.S. financial institutions without fear of legal retribution. That could lead to mainstream banking adoption, ETF approvals, and maybe even XRP becoming a bridge currency in the global digital economy. Yet there are skeptics. Some warn that the SEC may find loopholes to continue targeting Ripple. Others point out that new laws don't override pending lawsuits unless specifically stated, and still others caution that legislation takes time, and this may be just another hype cycle. All of that is valid, but from a long-term perspective, XRP has never been in a stronger position than it is right now. We have partial judicial victories, we have political momentum, and now we have congressional action that puts Ripple one step away from total vindication. If you're holding XRP, you're holding one of the most battle-tested tokens in crypto history. From lawsuits to delistings to media smears, XRP has survived it all, and now it might finally get the legal clarity it deserves. So what do you think could this be? The end of the SEC's case. Will XRP finally explode past $10, or are we still months, maybe years away from that kind of breakout drop? Your thoughts in the comments below. Smash that like button if you're bullish on XRP, and don't forget to subscribe for the latest legal updates, crypto news, and XRP analysis delivered without the hype, because in the crypto world, knowledge isn't just power, it's profit. Disclaimer. This video is for educational and formational purposes only. It is not financial advice. Please do your own research and consult with a financial advisor before making any investment decisions as the Ripple versus SEC case moves closer to a resolution. The broader cryptocurrency market is holding its breath. Industry experts suggest that the outcome could set a precedent for how digital assets are regulated in the United States. John Smith, a renowned cryptocurrency analyst, states, "A favorable ruling for Ripple could pave the way for more clarity in the regulatory landscape, potentially driving institutional investment into the market. On the other hand, a ruling in favor of the SEC might lead to more stringent regulations which could stifle innovation and deter new projects." Market analysts also predict significant price movements across various cryptocurrencies, not just XRP. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other altcoins could experience increased volatility as investors react to the news. In the words of Jane Doe, a financial expert, the resolution of this case is not just about Ripple, it's about the future of cryptocurrency in America. The market is on edge, and the ripple effects, no pun intended, could be monumental. Stay tuned as we continue to monitor this landmark case and its implications for the entire cryptocurrency ecosystem. Throughout the history of financial markets, legal battles have often shaped the regulatory landscape. Let's explore some notable cases that set precedents and their outcomes. In the early 2000s, the Enron scandal rocked the financial world, leading to the Sarbanes-Oxley Act of 2002. This legislation brought about stricter auditing and financial regulations aiming to protect investors from corporate fraud. The aftermath saw a more transparent corporate environment, though it also increased compliance costs for businesses. Another significant case was the 2010 Goldman Sachs fraud settlement. The SEC charged Goldman Sachs with misleading investors about subprime mortgage products, resulting in a $550 million settlement. This case underscored the importance of transparency and accountability in financial dealings, reinforcing the SEC's role in regulating financial markets more recently. The case of Facebook's IPO in 2012 highlighted issues related to information disclosure and market manipulation. The scrutiny led to changes in how companies approach public offerings, ensuring more robust investor protections. These examples show that while legal battles can initially cause uncertainty, they often lead to clearer regulations and a more stable market environment. The Ripple versus SEC case could similarly serve as a catalyst for defining the future of cryptocurrency regulation. As history has shown, the outcomes of these legal confrontations can have far-reaching implications, not just for the companies involved, but for the entire financial ecosystem. The Ripple case is no different, and its resolution will likely echo through the corridors of financial power for years to come. Stay with us as we continue to delve into the intricate web of cryptocurrency regulations and their potential impact on the market. As we look ahead, the resolution of the Ripple versus SEC case will undoubtedly shape Ripple's future strategies. So what could be next for Ripple in a post-SEC landscape? First, Ripple may focus on expanding its partnerships with financial institutions globally. Already, Ripple has established relationships with over 300 financial entities, including Santander and American Express's post-case resolution. We could see an acceleration in these partnerships, particularly in regions with clear regulatory frameworks for cryptocurrencies such as Europe and Asia. Additionally, Ripple might explore deeper integration with central banks. The company has been vocal about its interest in central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, and a favorable outcome in the SEC case could pave the way for Ripple to become a key player in the development and implementation of CBDC's worldwide market expansion is another critical area. Ripple's on-demand liquidity. ODL service, which uses XRP to facilitate cross-border payments, could see broader adoption. This service addresses the inefficiencies in traditional banking systems, and with regulatory clarity, more institutions may be willing to adopt ODL, expanding Ripple's market reach. Moreover, Ripple could venture into new technological innovations. Blockchain technology is still in its nascent stages, and Ripple's strong R&D capabilities could lead to the development of new products that leverage the XRP ledger for various applications, from decentralized finance DeFi to supply chain management. Finally, Ripple's lobbying efforts are likely to intensify. The company has already spent significant resources advocating for clear cryptocurrency regulations. Post-case resolution, Ripple could take a more active role in shaping future regulatory policies, ensuring a conducive environment for its operations in the broader crypto ecosystem. In summary, Ripple's future strategies are poised to be dynamic and multi-seated, with a focus on partnerships, market expansion, technological innovation, and regulatory advocacy. The outcome of the SEC case will be a pivotal moment, potentially unlocking new avenues for growth and solidifying Ripple's position in the financial industry. Stay tuned as we continue to explore the evolving landscape of cryptocurrency and its far-reaching implications for the global market. As we wrap up, let's summarize the key points discussed in this video. We've delved into the intricacies of the Ripple versus SEC case, exploring its potential impacts on Ripple and the broader cryptocurrency market, from the bombshell legislation to the ongoing jurisdictional battles between the SEC and CFTC. It's clear that regulatory clarity is essential for the future of digital assets. We examined the specifics of the Ripple versus SEC case, highlighting how the outcome could redefine the SEC's jurisdiction over cryptocurrencies and influence future legal battles. The Senate and the President's roles in shaping legislation were also discussed, emphasizing the political dimensions of this case. XRP's price movements, Ripple's extensive lobbying efforts, and the involvement of major exchanges like Coinbase and Kraken were key points. We also looked at Ripple's on-demand liquidity service and the potential loopholes in SEC regulations that could impact the crypto landscape. Importantly, we explored XRP's inherent strengths and its resilience amidst these challenges. Ripple's future strategies, including partnerships, market expansion, and technological innovations, were outlined, showcasing the company's potential in a post-SEC landscape. In essence, the resolution of the Ripple versus SEC case is not just pivotal for Ripple, but for the entire cryptocurrency market. It holds the promise of regulatory clarity, which could unlock new growth opportunities and solidify the role of digital assets in the global financial system. Stay tuned as we continue to monitor this evolving story and its far-reaching implications. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on the world of cryptocurrency.